Chapter 5. It is called The Secret. Whoo! Apparently there are 9 chapters, I think, from the achievements. A restless sleep combined with the image of the eerie figure in the snow has only convoluted what my little grey cells must consider. I should not have expected this to be a simple case. I have been lied to by at least one of the guests. Their alibis all confirm each other's, but I know this not to be true. New mind map. Investigate the Major's involvement with the blackmail. How the Major was involved with the blackmail eludes me for now. Once I have confirmed whether he was the author or recipient, I can consider my next step in my investigation. Yes, Gideon paid it off. The first one. Ransom value, yes. I think he got it and then he like wrote like a same one and then made them pay for it. Like a 2-step.
Good morning, Detective. You slept well?
I'm afraid I did not. I was hoping for at least a moment of pleasant slumber, but alas, it was not to be. Finding the Major's killer is the only thing that will put my mind at ease.
In that case, Detective, what can I do to help?
While watching the snow fall last night, I swear I saw the silhouette of figures standing in the garden.
In that snow? If someone was out there, we'd have another body on our hands.
I realize how strange it sounds. I would not believe it myself if I had not seen it with my own eyes.
Staff have reported seeing things in the dark before, but it always just turns out to be shadows. It was likely just your mind playing tricks.
I did not see Mademoiselle Elizabeth last night.
I'm afraid our Lizzie is not well. I think the events of yesterday were too much for her. We'll have to just make do without her this morning.
As Wordsworth once stated, rest and be thankful. Perhaps a chance of peace and relaxation will work wonders.
I'd like to also speak with Madame Van den Bosch at her earliest convenience.
She is currently eating breakfast alone in the dining room. It's how she prefers it. But if you wish to speak with her now...
It is important to speak with her, but perhaps it is better to allow her to finish. I do not wish to upset her before I have even asked my first question. Bro, you upset her by like existing in her household at this point. I still think you should let her complete her breakfast in peace to not make it like worse than it has to be. But like, she is already upset, broski. But yes, don't make it worse than it has to be. I could perhaps investigate the garden for any evidence of the figure from last night. Oh yeah, apparently there's an achievement for find everything hidden in the snow, whatever that means. Would you permit me access to the house's telephone?
I would, but I'm afraid I found this morning that the telephone lines aren't working. The snow continued through the night and must have damaged them.
Oh my god, it's like a real murder mystery, which obviously it is.
Even if we could use the telephone, I don't think anyone would be able to reach us.
In that case, it will be up to myself alone to solve the case.
I'll let you know if anything changes. But until some of the snow clears, enough for the carriages to arrive, we are snowed in.
Although I am not able to call upon or leave the house to find help from local authorities, it also means none of the guests are able to leave. I have until the snow clears to find not only Mademoiselle Angeline's blackmailer, but also the Major's killer, the Major's body.
Taken care of. Master Dramir and his brother, after sobering up, helped me move him into the cellar. Best place for the time being.
Yes, as cold as possible is good. Low-key put him out in the snow, but then like animals are probably going to eat him, which obviously is not good. But yeah, as cold as possible.
Très bien. I imagine there is no reason for anyone to go down there.
Besides me, no one. Once this snow clears, we will be able to move him from the house.
Your assistance has been most valuable as always.
Indeed. Okay. We go outside. Oh wait, whoa. Hello, person. Human.
Good morning, detective. I hope you were comfortable last night.
Bonjour, mademoiselle. The room was more than pleasant, merci. I'm afraid my mind was not in a state to enjoy it to its full potential, though.
I can't imagine any of us slept soundly last night.
Hopefully guilt will be weighing heavily on someone's shoulders this morning.
Perhaps on more than one set.
I'm sorry if I was not much help last night, Detective.
On the contrary, your inside knowledge of the guests was of great help to my investigation. But there are many more questions that require answers.
What were your feelings towards the Major's position in the house?
His position? You mean about him living here?
Oui, even in a house this size, you must see a lot of each other.
I enjoyed having him here. When I was away with Gideon, it was comforting to know Maman was not alone. Although his work with Mr. Da Silva has kept him away from the house of late.
What can you tell me about their relationship, working or otherwise?
There is not much to tell, only that there is no love lost between them.
Do you know what their business entailed?
He was always quite private about his work. I know that he was helping Mr. Da Silva with some safety matters.
I found a check addressed to the Major from Monsieur Da Silva. It noted security consulting.
Ah, that's right, security. With his military training, he helped Mr. Da Silva prepare for any trouble with the strikes.
Although the Major's death has taken precedence, there has been a development in the blackmail case.
A development? Oh, Detective, I knew I could count on you.
It may not be the news you had wished for, though. Another letter has been found.
Addressed to me? I don't know how much more I can take of this.
Pardonnez-moi, mademoiselle. Although it has been written in the same manner, using similar phraseology, it was not sent for your eyes, rather the Major's. Or at least that is how it seems.
I'm sorry, Detective, I don't understand. It is addressed to him or not?
I found it in the Major's study yesterday while conducting my preliminary search. Whether he is the author of the letter or the recipient, I am still yet to discover.
Could the Major have been behind the blackmail?
Heavens no. He could not do that.
You did not hesitate for a moment.
Why would he do such a thing? And then to send a letter to himself. It just doesn't make sense.
Merci for your time, mademoiselle. You are to a detective what an umbrella is to a traveler on a wet day.
Useful?
Exactement.
I don't know, the way she said that was really funny for no reason. Alright, let's... Oh my god, more people. Hi, hello, humans. Speak to me.
Bonjour, Monsieur Demir.
Detective Poirot, how are you?
The truth, monsieur. With each step towards uncovering the blackmailer, I am thrown 2 steps back as to the identity of the Major's killer.
Is there something I can help you with?
After investigating the crime scene yesterday, I asked Monsieur Sterling to move the body.
Archibald came to me and asked for my help in the matter. My brother and I dealt with it.
Merci for your help. It is a job that only the professionals should have to undertake.
It's a job that had to be done. Although it may have affected my brother more than I.
How so?
At the sight of the body, the color drained from his face. Once we had reached the cellar, Zachariah took himself straight off to bed, without even a good night.
While in the study, I noticed the Major's safe was locked. Would you know who has access?
Felix and Madame Vandenbosch are the only ones with keys, as far as I'm aware. Oh, and Archibald. I'm sure I heard Felix asking him to return something to it once.
Makes sense. I wonder why Monsieur Sterling did not mention this previously. True. Have you spoken with your brother this morning?
I have not seen him since last night. I'm sure he will have been fine after a good night's sleep.
I imagine the alcohol would have acted as a sufficient sleeping aid.
He does not need his younger brother checking in on him.
Perhaps that is exactly what he requires.
I'm not sure what he told you yesterday, Detective, but he's a big boy. He can look after himself.
I worry that may not be the case, monsieur. His time in the war came up in conversation more than once during our conversations.
He's still talking about it? I thought talking to the doctor would have stopped all of that.
Merci, monsieur.
Why, hello, Margot.
Comtesse, I wonder if I could ask you some questions.
That is it, detective? No small talk? No inflating of one's ego?
No. None of the bullshit, please.
I am afraid not, Comtesse. With the murderer still loose in the house, my mind is rather preoccupied.
Well then, detective, perhaps I can be of some assistance.
Comment, madame?
I thought you might like to know what I found on the Major's body.
I demand to know who gave you permission to see the Major's body.
That certainly piqued your interest.
A man has been murdered, and you find it acceptable to fool around and joke.
Oh, please, detective. Do you really think so little of me? Archibald asked for my assistance. He knows of my medical training from my days as a nurse, and I thought I would be able to help. Even if it has been some years.
It was not his place to grant you access to the body.
I always appreciate that Poirot takes, like, death, which you should, but, like, extremely seriously. Like, he's always, like, so angry when people don't, like, respect the fact that someone has been, like, literally murdered, like, died.
I shall remember to keep my assistance to myself next time.
What did you discover on the body?
A single stab wound, which you no doubt already knew. The knife was held in their right hand. I would say their predominant hand.
I pride myself on order and method, and this is far from either. I suspect in a murder investigation has... Wow. Okay, I see what I'm trying to read now. Okay. Ooh. Oh. A suspect in a murder investigation has examined the very victim that they are suspected of killing. It is like something out of a crime novel.
Judging by the depth of the wound, I would say there was no great force put into the strike. More a sign of defense than attack. If I had to say what weapon was used, a small sharp knife or dagger.
This may confirm my suspicions of the Major's knife being used to kill him.
I understand it may be difficult for one to keep such information to yourself, but I ask you to try. Your involvement has already tainted my investigation.
You are welcome, detective.
I agree that maybe he could try to, like, flatter a little bit more here to get more help out of her, but, like, he does take it very seriously, though, which I appreciate. When my superior officer hears of the goings on in this house, I will surely be seeing the green fields of the countryside once more. I must do all I can to redeem the situation I have worked to build, starting with finding the killer.
S'il vous plaît, Comtesse. Keep this information to yourself.
Are there more humans? We can't go upstairs, which is fine. Any more humans? The area does not pertain to my current investigation. Boring you are, bro. But fine. Okay, not staff quarters. Alright. No, why are you lagging? What? Why are you lagging, Poirot? Okay, before we go outside, let's see what we have here. Investigate the Major's involvement with the blackmail. Inspect the garden, talk to Cassandra, and then we also have investigate the murder, where we can't really draw any conclusions. But we have defensive strike. Alright, here. We can do conclusions, but 2 deductions. Let's see here. Cassandra, we need to talk to Cassandra. Fine. Angeline disputes the Major being the blackmailer. She doesn't believe the Major is behind the blackmail. She's seen the good in him. Angeline knew the Major well. She has a positive impression of him if only she knew his full character. Is her view of the Major consistent? Archibald, inspect the garden. Brothers move the body. The Demir brothers moved the Major's body at the request of Archibald. Archibald asked Margot to inspect the body. I cannot believe Archibald would allow this to happen. The crime scene and body have been tainted. Indeed. Zachariah was therapized, alright, after the war. It is nothing that Zachariah should hide what he must have experienced. What he has experienced, I wouldn't wish upon anyone. Gideon claims Archibald has access to the safe. Gideon is adamant Archibald has a copy of the Major's safe key. I shall raise this with him. Zachariah was shocked by the Major's corpse. Zachariah must have seen more than his fair share during the war, so why would Zachariah be so affected by the sight of the Major's corpse? Maybe he recognized something in it. Okay, what else have I not looked at here? Why does it say that I have something left to look at? Hello? Oh, because I can make conclusions. My god, I already forgot.
must act on order and method. What a revelation!
One can't be surprised with Angeline and Felix's bond. He's been a figure in her life for so long. I get what you mean. Doesn't mean that they have to be, like, on good terms, but absolutely.
Magnifique.
I have heard of men returning physically from war, but their minds remain on the battlefield. Oh yeah. Pretty sure that's called PTSD. Zagraya may be shell shock. Might have shell shock. I have heard of men... Yeah. Talk to Gideon to advance the investigation. I'm gonna go outside, actually. I want to see what the snow is like. Are you not gonna get oh yeah, actually, he came here without a coat. Finding evidence of the figure from last night will, on one hand, confirm I'm not seeing things as Monsieur Sterling suggested, but on the other, pose even more questions that must be answered. Expensive lighter. Hope you can't hear my washing machine in the background. A well-made lighter with the insignia of a military regiment. The major must have dropped it. Oh, you're not gonna pick it up? Oh, I guess he just looks at things. That's true. Alright. Garden tools.
Oh.
Garden tools have been left out, presumably before the snow fell. Yeah, otherwise I feel like you would have seen. Some of them stick up, or like, you would have been able to tell. Okay, nothing. Why did you come here without a coat? Like, for real. Milk bottles. They must have been left out for collection. I cannot see anyone making it through the snow, though. No. I don't think anyone's picking up the milk in this. No. Exit is impossible. The house is completely snowed in. It does not look like we shall be going anywhere anytime soon. Okay, I'm just walking around that thing. Is it a fountain? I don't even know. No. We don't need to look at the exit, I promise. We've been there, done that. Okay. Nothing right here. Oh, the whole the whole garden furniture set. Oh, fallen bird feeder. It has almost disappeared in the snow. I doubt we will see too many birds in these conditions. Yeah. My goodness, my washing machine is very adamant that I know that it's done. Which, I mean, cool, but please, I am busy. Oh, I've been over here. Oh, okay. We've been everywhere now. Interesting. Do you agree that we've been everywhere? No? Inspect the garden. We have something left. Oh, faint footprints.
Huh.
There's a small trail. Oh, inspect all items hidden in the snow. Okay. There's a small trail of footprints in the snow. The major was seen walking around here yesterday. The snow is still falling and I'm hardly dressed for the occasion. You think? Again, why did you come here without a coat, bro? Perhaps Madame Van den Bosch has finished her breakfast and is ready to answer my questions. Now we can't go out again, I presume? Yeah, okay. Can I talk to you? No? Or I mean...
Whatever you need.
I can, but I can't ask you anything of value. But Gideon first. Hello.
If it will
Can I have
help
a
you find the
super
major's
private
killer,
conversation
of
with you?
course.
Clearly out in the open so everyone can hear. Your brother was seeing a doctor?
When he returned from the war, he was a different man. Everything became about what he had seen.
Are you surprised? War is absolutely horrifying. On levels, like, I can't even begin to fathom.
I cannot speak from experience, but I can only imagine the horrors he must have witnessed.
Yes, there's nothing romantic or good or cool about war.
The first weeks he would wake in the night, screaming. I found him one night, cowering behind a desk in the study. When I tried to help him out from beneath it, well, it was the first time I had ever feared for my life.
That is not why you two are no longer close?
And not at all, Detective. We were always very different in nature. While I had always wanted to follow an academic path, Zachariah was more of a free spirit. Or at least as free as our father and the laws would allow.
And yet, he ended up in the military. Quite the contrast.
Our father demanded that he at least try to do something with his life. And when some of his friends joined the army, he signed up with them.
Oh my god. It's not a game, it's not a joke.
It wasn't long before he moved out from the family home after his return from the army. I always assumed that he had put the war and everything that came with it behind him and was moving on. Now I see that is far from the truth.
Okay, I understand you saying that because you don't have the experience, but like that's not something that you just, I imagine, just put behind you and move on from. Like that scars you for life, even if you get therapy and everything. Like that. Also, we had covered like a secret about Zachariah. That is Well, I must speak with Madame Van den Bosch. I should also take this opportunity to talk to Mademoiselle Rehanna in the kitchen. Yes. Oh, I guess we start with Cassandra. Hi, hello.
Bonjour, madame. May I offer my condolences for your loss?
Thank you, Detective, but they are not necessary. What can I do for you?
I was hoping you would be prepared to answer some questions.
If I must.
Why would someone want to kill the Major?
I'm sure you're aware he was not the easiest man to get along with. His hot temper made him a number of foes.
A hot temper is reason enough to kill a man.
His mouth often acted before his brain. Perhaps someone had grown tired of dealing with it.
You suggested why someone might kill him, but who do you believe would do it?
Seeing as I heard Mr. Becker's in what I would describe as an unnecessarily loud exchange of words yesterday, he would be my first suspect.
You heard them yourself.
How could I not? The volume they were shouting at, I could hear them from the study in my room.
You did not think it fitting to tell me this yesterday?
I didn't think Felix was going to wind up dead and a murderer loose in my house. My apologies, Detective.
Although I must learn some more from this argument, it is not Madame that I expect the answers to come from, rather Monsieur Becker's. He has a great deal of explaining to do. A letter was found in the Major's study.
I assume you are talking about the supposed blackmail letter.
Oui, madame. You know of it?
It arrived shortly after the first. Rather coincidental, if you ask me.
I'm not sure I understand what you're trying to say, madame.
He no doubt had secrets hidden away. But do you honestly think Felix had anything of value to his name worth threatening him for?
Perhaps you should enlighten me.
Well, he was here, living in my house, eating my food, prepared by my staff. Does that answer your question, Detective?
How do you think the Major came to have the letter?
I wouldn't put it past him to have written it himself, in the hopes of getting some sympathy from me.
And the other letters?
He probably wrote those too. If Angeline paid the first, that would have given him the money to pay the second letter. He is the White Knight, saves the day, and expects to live here happily ever after.
I did not expect Madame Van den Bosch to be so blunt with her thoughts towards the Major. I was under the impression there was more to their friendship, not less. It is quite a nefarious plan that Madame has laid out for the Major. I'm not sure I can believe he would go to such levels of deceit. I can. Easy. I'm sure Mademoiselle Angeline will have an opinion on the matter. I'd like to ask you about Monsieur de Silva.
What is it you wish to know?
You two have been friends for some time now. And while I do not mean to pry, has your relationship only...
If you are trying to insinuate that Mr. De Silva and I are running around like schoolchildren, you could not be further from the truth. He was friends with my husband, for goodness sake.
Oui, I understand they worked together. Investments, if I am correct.
Mr. De Silva was the voice of reason that my husband should have listened to more often, instead of throwing our money at businesses that were already on the verge of bankruptcy.
That does not sound... Yeah,
Merci,
yeah.
Madame. I...
Bother you any further. I'm sure she is very happy about that. Okay, kitchen. Which is great. Let me look at everything else first. Wonder how many travel expeditions have been planned while enjoying the contents of the globe. We need to look at all the windows. Bust.
Huh.
Madame van den Bosch's collection of art extends further than just paintings. Window.
Aha.
The fallen snow has laid a beautiful white blanket over the countryside that surrounds the house. I need to look at all the windows for an achievement, so... Window!
Aha.
Yes, yes. Bust. Yes, her collection of art. Bust. Wee. Okay. To the salon. The main hall. Alright, let's go to the kitchen. Kitchen. Here we go. I should sit in a way that doesn't hurt my back. Hold up. Alright, cool. Much better. Pots and pans. The cook has obviously used them for quite some time, judging by their condition. Oh yeah, we've never spoken to her before. Rihanna!
Bonjour, madame. You must be the wonderful cook.
Wonderful and modest, sir. I am Rihanna.
Rihanna.
My taste buds thank you for the ravishing meal last night. It has been some time since I ate so well.
Glad to hear it, sir.
S'il te plaît, madame. A detective is fine.
In that case, mademoiselle is fine for me, and I will ignore your presumption of marriage.
Touché. Good.
Très bon, mademoiselle.
Meet all characters in the game. Alright, we met everyone. You have been with the Van den Bosch family for quite some time?
That's right. I've seen staff come and go, but a house always needs a trustworthy cook.
I agree. But if I was to eat what you prepare every day, I fear I may be the size of La Maison.
Not a bad thing, detective. You could do with some meat on your bones.
Well, with the snow still not clearing, we may be stuck here for the weekend. Perhaps I should look to adjust my pantalon buttons.
I understand. Oh, pantalon is trousers. I understand you took some ice to the major yesterday?
I did. Monsieur Archie told me what had happened. Bruises can swell fast, so I took him some ice to bring it down.
Strange. Monsieur Sterling told me it was the major that requested the ice.
How was the Major when you saw him?
Grumpy, as always.
I suppose one would not take kindly to being punched as he was.
Punched or not, he was as ungrateful as ever.
I just can't believe
I
it.
shall not keep you any longer. Merci, mademoiselle.
I have gathered all I need from Madame van den Bosch and Mademoiselle Rihanna. I should return to the Great Hall. Alright. And return we shall. Okay, we probably need to do some thinking. You know what? That was not what I wanted, but I didn't know I could do that. Okay, Rahana. Talk to Rahana. Rahana took eyes to the Major on her own accord. I was led to believe the Major asked for eyes to be brought to him, but Rahana says otherwise. Rahana's worked with the family for years. Rahana was the cook when I first met the Vandenbosch family. She has certainly been loyal to them. Rahana said the Major didn't thank her. Her description of the Major coincides with almost everyone's opinion of the Major. Yes, interesting that everyone is like, oh, the Major is a piece of shit. Like, even Cassandra is like, he's pretty much a piece of shit. Except Angeline, who's like, oh no, he's nice. Cassandra believes the Major was the blackmailer. Cassandra is confident the Major was behind the blackmail letters. Given his reputation, surely most would agree. Major didn't have much to his name. Considering his rank and apparent societal position, the Major had very little capital to his name. Indeed. Cassandra suspects Hugo. Elizabeth informed Cassandra of an argument between Hugo and the Major. Could this have been the instigation to the tussle that resulted in his death? The Major had a temper. Cassandra confirms the Major's hot temper may have been led to his death. Alright.
I should not be surprised.
Angeline and Cassandra have different impressions of the Major. There must be a reason for this. Conflicting opinions. Talk to Angeline. Alright. That's my balcony door again. We will talk to her in the next time, actually. So thank you all very much for watching, and I'll see you.